Thank you. That word former, I don't remember if you remember that a few years ago George Clooney was picked by People magazine as sexiest man in the world. And the next year he didn't make the top 10, he was the former sexiest man. How do you think he felt about being a former? Anyway, I'm limited on time because my wife and I are splitting the 18 minutes. She's going to be speaking on another subject, so I better not take her time or I will pay consequences. So, how did the 10K run get started? Well, in 1978, I was honored to be elected to the Manhattan Beach City Council. And a bunch of my friends said, we were all runners, they said, well, why don't we put on a 10K run in town? Well, the Manhattan Beach City staff didn't have enough people to take on another obligation, so I went to my city council colleagues and I said, we'd like to put a 10K run in town. We'll do it with volunteers. The only problem is we need police and public safety and paramedic support the day of the race, and we don't have any money. And so they agreed that we would sponsor this race and the police and the fire department would help us out on race day. So when I think back about it, we were really kind of clueless that when we started. We met in our living room and we decided to put on this race. And we didn't have a formal organization. None of us had ever put on a race. We had no money and we had no insurance. But we didn't think about those things, we just went ahead and did it. But we were runners and we knew what we liked in races and what we disliked in races. So we set our Manhattan Beach race commandments. First one is the race is going to start on time. Nothing's worse than participating in a race where you stand around and wait for the organizers to get organized and you sit there and you wait and it never starts. Secondly, no political speeches before the race. Now, that was hard for me being a brand new politician, but the last thing people want to hear before a race is some politician pontificating on something. So we said none of that. And then we said everybody's going to get an accurate time because we'd run races where you had no clue how you finished. And so we did that, and we're going to give a lot of medals to a lot of people, which is why we have these groups, father, daughter, father, son, and all these age groups. Last but not least, no advertising on our t-shirts. We'd all run races where when you left it, you felt like an advertisement for a beer company. So in 33 years, we've never had an ad on the t-shirts. So we started the race and we figured this would be really fun and it'd be a cool little race and we'd get 200 or 300 local participants and it would be great. So we printed up application forms and 2,200 people signed up. And we were blown away and overwhelmed, but somehow we managed to pull it off, and then we decided, gee, if this is that successful, we better plan on a second year, so we better get organized and get insurance and get all these things, which we did. But we did want to keep the race small and local. So we decided the second year that in order to sign up for this race, you couldn't just mail it in, you had to stand in line and sign up in person, and that would keep it small and local. So we set up our sign-ups in this room, actually, and the line went down past the end of Live Oak Park, and we signed up 3,800 people. So anyway, so we are now in our 33rd year. We are probably one of the largest pure 10K races in the state of California. We're very proud of what we've been able to accomplish. Several years ago, a group of running experts got together. They analyzed thousands and thousands of races all over the United States, and they printed a book with the top 100. By the way, this is how it looked like with 3,800 people. For the first few years, we ran around the pier, but then we had to change that because of safety reasons. We actually had to change because the county wouldn't give us a permit because I called up to get our permit and they said, how many people? And I said 4,000. And they said, well, the pier can't hold 4,000 people. And I said, well, they kind of spread out a little. They're not all there in one clump, but they didn't understand. But it was better to change the course. So they printed this running encyclopedia. And lo and behold, the Manhattan Beach 10K run is one of the top 100 races in the country, along with some lesser known ones such as the Boston Marathon, the New York Marathon. And so we were very proud of that. So what happens from here? Our race is unique out of these 100 races in two different ways. One, and we're proud of both of them. One is we've analyzed all the 100 races, and Manhattan Beach race has the highest local participation of any race in the country in the top 100. We have between 8 and 10% of our population comes out and participates in this race every year, which is unheard of. Nobody's even close. And I think that says a lot to our recreation department, our city, our residents, and our lifestyle we live here at the beach. It's very positive. The other thing that's unique about it is we're the only race in the top 100 that does not have a major corporate sponsor. We can do that for two reasons. One, we're all volunteers. Most of them have paid directors And number two, we've been approached people wanting to give us money, actually. But we've turned them down because the catch was, well, you got to put our ad on your shirt. So we said no. The other reason is our partnership with the city providing our public safety people at no cost. It's a true partnership, and it allows us to keep this race non-commercial and local hometown type. So since our only source of revenue is entry fees, how do we make money? Once again, we're all volunteers. We've actually not only made money, in the past 30 years, well over $500,000 has been donated back to the community for recreational facilities enhancement. For example, the exercise facility at 27th and the Strand was paid for by the 10K Run Committee, as was the new aerobics facility in Pollywog Park, the climbing wall in Manhattan Park, Manhattan Heights Park, the new exercise facility at the Manhattan Beach Middle School when they built that, large contribution to the artificial track at Miracosta. It goes on and on and on. Plus, we give scholarships to, thank you. We give a lot of scholarships to graduating high school seniors who live in Manhattan Beach. All in all, I think this proves we're very proud of what we've accomplished. And it proves that a group of volunteers, and we're just one example. And that's what makes Manhattan Beach so special, is we have groups all over. Leadership Manhattan Beach is another one. The Neighborhood Watch Charlotte's going to talk about is another one. It makes Manhattan Beach a special place to live, much more than just a place to come home to. And hundreds of people make this place great, and I'm really proud that we have been part of one event that helped make it a little nicer place to live. Thank you.